What you're looking at here is an art installation that gives people the chance to read that landscape, to look at these lines of sight that are so important at Lyme, and not only that, but be able to play the landscape too.
These kinds of parkland, stately home environments are often set up in terms of particular views from particular places. It's an English landscape tradition.
The lantern that you can see on the top of the hill through the woods up in Lantern Wood was set up there absolutely as a folly, but there's a really clear line of sight and it lines up directly with the dining room where Lord Newton would have sat and ate his breakfast. And the story goes that if Lord Newton could look out while he was having his breakfast and see clearly that line of sight all the way up into the woods to the lantern, he knew it was a good day for hunting.
It was one of those sort of inspiration things. I was coming here in the car and thought, what about drumming? We had a slightly impossible situation here. We were dealing with a building that had no electricity in terms of the light. We're trying to do lighting in a place where there's no electricity. And the signalling for things like that usually relies on phone signals. And there were no phone signals here.
There was two major obstacles for us, was broadcasting the signal, and the bigger one was the transferring the drum strike to the digital signal. The strike currently would say pad 1, go to blue, and it's a certain colour blue which we set up with the artist, Sean. In essence, that's it. It sounds simple, but it wasn't.
One idea was to bring in the other senses. So obviously there's a degree of sound because you're drumming, and there's a degree of tactility in terms of your interaction with the landscape. This kind of view is quite static in the sense that you see it from a certain position. It's only from this area you can actually see that lantern. So it was introducing the idea of some movement, and also the sense that the person who's playing the drums, if you like, the viewer, was making something change. It's a thing that kind of grows in that as you play it, you kind of begin to see things happening and you're kind of learning what it can do as you go along. So it's a very kind of open-ended thing.
This project's given us a really good chance to work in a completely new way with some really quite amazing partners. So this is part of something called New Expressions 3, which is an art project which helps people like the National Trust to commission brand new pieces of art, which has given us the chance to work with Sean Griffiths, the artist, and also some really very technical producers who don't normally work with the art world or with heritage. So what this is doing is it's absolutely kicking off a summer of art at Lyme. So we have this installation which is really exciting, but this summer will also see us bringing the Gruffalo to Lyme and hosting a whole series of art events through the summer and through the winter and into next year. So what a great way to kick it